Hi, welcome to the Gen X Glam and Gab channel here on YouTube. It is great to see everyone, whether you're new, whether you're coming back. Thank you so much for stopping in. I appreciate you, and I know we do have some new folks joining us, so sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. And definitely go back and check out some of the Gen X Glam and Gab archives. I hope that everyone can find some video along the way of some 300 plus videos I did that that gives them a tip or trick or just entertains them. All right, let's get into this video. We have 2 days left of Fun February, my friends. And believe me, it has been so much fun. I've been here every single day, uploading a video every day, hanging out with you guys every day, asking a question of the day every way, giving stuff away all month. It has been a lot of fun. Speaking of giveaways, I want to quickly plug the giveaway. This isn't a giveaway video. However, I will link the giveaway video in this video description. It is a very lovely 4-step Charlotte Tilbury skincare bundle. You start with her glow toner, you move on to her magic elixir serum. This is her magic rescue eye cream, and then you finish it off with the product that kicked everything off for Charlotte Tilbury, her magic cream. And there is going to be another giveaway coming up. I think it's going to be tomorrow. I'm going to give away this Glam Go bag. It's stuffed with things that I curated from my Glam Station, or I shopped out on the local market and put together for someone. I'll be talking about that tomorrow. But today I want to talk about Glow Recipe. I've been saying in videos leading up to this video that I was waiting for my niacinamide Dewy Flush from Glow Recipe to arrive. I was happy to see that it came in this size. So this is $25 if you go on the Glow Recipe website. And it's if the website claims it's 100% skincare, like a blush, a serum-y blush, if you will. So we're gonna try it out. I pulled out what Glow Recipe I have. I did invest in Glow Recipe when I first started my collection. For those of you who are new to the channel, I kind of say, I joke around and say, oh, I'm having a midlife makeup crisis. I turned 50 leading up to the year or so before I turned 50, and I'm like, boy, I think I have some dark spots. I think I need to figure out how to even out my skin, but I didn't know how to do any of that. So I've been learning and researching and sharing that journey here on my channel, on the Gen X Glam and Gab channel. All right, let's go in with the Watermelon Glow Pore Tight Toner. I've never bought this in the full size, but I've gotten this for like 100 points at Sephora before. I've gotten it on the Glow Recipe is sometimes one of the brands Sephora offers for your birthday bundles. And so that's how I've gotten this. And I really actually like this toner. I just have invested in so many other ones. I have to set the limits somewhere. So I have some of this left. I think Glow Recipe, for those of us who don't know, and I didn't know a lot about the brand until, I looked into it a little bit. It was founded by these two women who used to work at L'Oreal. They worked at L'Oreal for like 10 years. And then at some point in their journey, I guess after a decade of working there, they started thinking, they were influenced by Korean beauty, and they started thinking, like, we could do this out on her own. We could have some sort of Korean beauty inspired sort of skincare front. And so they took a stab at it in 2014. And it started with like a digital storefront. It was originally, the concept was they were just gonna like curate and sell, their favorite, I guess, from the beauty space, Korean skincare and Korean skincare products. But they ended up developing their own sort of brand, Glow Recipe, inspired by, they said, when you go to like a spa or you go to like a dermatologist in Korea, the menu of items usually start with glow something. So that's how they got started around 2014. And they're crushing it. They're definitely crushing it, especially with with the younger folks. They love this. I mean, I think we all kind of like this pink and purpley and fruity smelling type of product. Like, you can't, you know, their critics out there would say, oh, they just target kids and kids don't need to be using this, that, or the other thing. But I mean, they are really fun. The packaging's great. Everything smells great. So I think some of their stuff is a little gimmicky, which leads me to the question of the day. I want to know what you think, like your all-time thought of gimmicky products, like one product, two product. You know, what do you think? What have you seen out there? Maybe you haven't bought and tried, but you've looked at it and you're like, no way, that's just a gimmick. Speaking of such, is this thing from NYX that I tried yesterday, this lip IV oil, going to be deemed a gimmick? I still do love this applicator. So we're jumping around. I am going to go back and I'm going to use my new blush from Glow Recipe that claims to be 100% skincare. Their website says that. There's critics out there that are saying, no, that's not necessarily the case. We've broken down these ingredients and we don't think it's 100% skincare. So I guess that remains to be seen. I want to put this IV infused lip oil serum on my lips because, you know, you can wear it as a nice gloss, and when it wears off, it's supposed to give you a nice stain, which I can attest to yesterday. When the gloss did wear off, it did leave me with a nice stain. However, I still had to reapply a lippy. It's not like it left a stain for all day. The website says that I could leave this on for 10 minutes, which I think we're gonna do. Leave it on for 10 minutes, that's why I jumped to it, and then wipe it off, and we'll have a stain. So let's do that. Let's leave it on for 10 minutes and then wipe it off. All right. So what are you thinking out there is a big old gimmick? I think those milk like jelly fleshy blushes, this thing, it's really kind of fun. It's cool to your skin when it touches it. It's like jelly, and when they first came out, people were like, can I eat this? No, you can't. Like, what is the, I sometimes wonder how people work things out. Anyway, I think that's like a little gimmicky, but we got to get into this video, otherwise I'm gonna run out of time. I haven't done any color correcting. I just wanted to come on and showcase some of the Glow Recipe stuff I've collected. And we're going to get into using these Hue Drops, which I thought were a little bit gimmicky. You can use them as a serum and they give you a little bit of a tint, or you can put them into your foundation. I was thinking of putting them into my foundation because the Flush blush comes in two shades. This is the darker shade. This is like Berry Flush. And then there's one that's like a peachy pink watermelon. I wanted to get this color because I like this. I just go for these darker sort of berry colors, and everything I've seen on this, it's not super pigmented because it's skincare, right? So it's supposed to blend and just give you like a sheer look. The instructions on the website say put it on with your fingers. So let's get into, I think I'm gonna go ahead and skip right into my Glow Recipe Plum Plump Hyaluronic Acid, because this is technically a serum. And it has niacinamide in it, and this has niacinamide in it. Although the website says you can use both those products together. This is the Plum Plumper Moisturizer from Glow Recipe. I've had this around for a while. I'm pretty close to getting to the bottom of it. It's definitely over a year old. It's definitely over a year old. So it's probably lost a little bit of its vibrance and stuff, but I really did enjoy using it when I got it, rotating it in to my regular, what I was using at the time, moisturizers. I don't know does it plump? It's called Plum Plump. It smells nice. I love plums, by the way. I'm a sucker for plums. I have a very small Glow Recipe collection. I do wish that I wouldn't have bought these, and I've said it before that I feel like that I got suckered into that last year when I was trying a lot of different bronzing drops. It's not just those the Charlotte Tilbury like Island Glow drops. Oh my gosh, I really was disappointed and those were a bit pricier. I noticed that this comes in a mini. When I bought it, it did not come in a mini. I hope that that's a trend for brands. I really, really do. I was happy to see that this one was so small, because what if I don't like it? And I hate to see like it just sitting and wasting away. So I think I can probably get through it. They also say you can put this on your lips as well for like a little flush of color, but we're not going to do that because we're demoing this NYX. It hasn't been 10 minutes, so I'm not going to wipe it off. You can see it still has a nice glow. And it did leave a bit of a stain yesterday. You still have to reapply. For that matter, should all lippies fall in the gimmick category? Because what is, we've talked about, oh, what are your favorite lippies? But maybe I should have said, like, what lippy do you think has the most staying power in your collection? Because all lippies transfer and need, and necessitate some sort of touch up or reapplication since the dawn of time, right? You see all the women depicted in movies in the powder room touching up their lipstick, all the women in your family, I certainly have seen them over the years, people, just random women on the subway or just out in public touching up their lippies. There's not, I don't think that they have found the magical formula yet for a lippy that just doesn't transfer, that you can put it on and not worry about it all day. I don't think that product exists yet. So you have to reapply. It's not any different than any other sort of lippy out there, although it does leave a little bit of a stain. I will give it that. And I noticed the stain for about like 2.5 hours. I'm like, oh, I can still see it there. That wasn't my natural color of my lips. I did reapply my lippies throughout the day. I didn't bring it to work. I just switched it up, which is what I normally do. I might start off the day with one of the lippies, but in my bag, in the bag I'm using on a, throughout the day basis, I've got some lippies that are in like the pink family, that are in the nude family, that I can just on a whim decide what I want to touch up with. All right, that's just a tiny bit of color correcting. It's not at all a lot, just under my eyes, on my lids, down my T-zone, along my jawline. I usually do a lot more than that, but we're gonna try this bronzer out, and I'm gonna use a little bit of my Charlotte Tilbury Beautiful Skin Foundation. This is in the shade 1N. And I'm gonna do the mix. When I've used this before, it says 1 or 2 pumps. You can use this as a serum. That was kind of like 1 pump. You can use it as a serum and give yourself a little bit of flush of color, and then build on it. Or you could put a pump or two into your foundation. So that's what we're gonna do. They even said you could put a dab on your finger and put it on your lids to add like a flush of color on the lids, just like a wash of color. That actually worked out quite nicely. It didn't cover, there's not a lot of pigment in this, and I don't think there's going to be a lot of pigment in the Flush Blush either. So these aren't really base products. But again, Glow Recipe is a skincare brand. It's skincare. It's, they're delving into these hue drops, and they're delving into now, these blushes. But at the end of the day, they're a skincare company. It blows me away. They have barely been around for a decade, but they have their claws into the shelf space, at Sephora, at, online. They're even at, are they at Ulta? I don't get to Ulta enough to know if Glow Recipe is at Ulta, but hey, I say kudos to the ladies that started this brand, because, they were grinding away for a huge company like L'Oreal, and supposedly the story goes, they were sitting around one night drinking wine and putting on face masks, and they just came up with this idea of like, hey, why are we, working for the working for the man, they used to say. I don't even know if that's politically correct, if you can say that before. But, you know, working for this huge company, blood, sweat, and tears, when, you know, they could be out there crushing it on their own. And so that's what they did. I mean, not every they could have, they could have failed. Not every, you know, not everybody that tries to do that has a success story. But they found, like I said, they have their claws in the shelf space, at least in Sephora, and they are out there crushing it. They cross all sorts of demographics. I mean, look at me. I'm like 51 years old, and I'm like this. I love the packaging. I love fruity smells. I like the dewy look. Count me in. And then they've got all the little, you know, Gen Zers and Alpha Gen, even the youngers than Gen Zers, all interested in their brand. So again, kudos to them. All right, there's just a little bit of coverage using a bit of the Beautiful Skin Foundation from Charlotte Tilbury and tiny bit of a glow. I can see that I have a glow because I've used, you know, I've used the Beautiful Skin Foundation on its own before. I kind of know what it looks like. I feel like I do have a little bit of glow, especially like right in there. I like it. I like it. You know, maybe I should stop saying like, oh, these huge drops, they were such, you know, I feel like I bit the gimmick apple on them. And when I, you know, every once in a while, just blend them into a foundation, because that seems to be, you know, that seems to give you a nice little glow. And I did want some coverage because I wanted to have a little bit of something for these to stick to. All right, they say 1 or 2 drops on the cheeky cheeks and blend with your fingers. They said don't blend with a blush. You know what I wanted to compare these to? And now I've went and put them on both of my cheeks. This Revlon serum. I don't know, can I get that off? Let's just see what, wow, I can see the glow there. I got it off. Let's put a little bit of the Revlon serum blush on the other side, because look at there, I mean, it's really close. It's very, very close in color. And it's also, well, I guess not really. Huh. One's a berry and one's more, well, I think they're close enough. They are close enough. Let's go in with the Revlon. Hold on. They were so close. I looked down at my hand and I'm like, which one's which? Put a couple drops of the Revlon serum blush. This is a lot more sheer, but it just, look at that. It just blends. It just barely there. Gives a little bit of a something. This is the Glow Recipe side. And again, they just say like, use your fingers. All right, that is a flush. Look at that. That, I would say that's a, you know, the name of this thing is like the Dewy Flush. That's a nice flush. The Revlon side, I'm going to put a little bit more. I didn't put as much. That is just soaking right into the skincare. And it also gives a nice sheer flush, but this gives a bit more of a pop of color, but I wanted to go with the darker one. I'm kind of curious now what the lighter, like I think they call it peachy pink of this is, but this is 12 milliliters. Again, so happy that it's not a 30 milliliter. That gives me a few to try it out, see if I like it. Here, has it been 10 minutes? Do we want to wipe this off and see if we have a stain? There is a bit of a stain, so you can totally see like there's no glossy gloss going on anymore. Let's use a little bit. I'm going to actually put it, the Revlon serum, I love that sheer, it's barely there flush. The barely there flush. I would say that this falls in that category too. Again, I think it's 3% niacinamide in there. That's a really, you know what? I like this better than I thought I was going to like it. I actually do. I really, truly do. Let's put a little bit up there. I don't mind a little bit of flush, especially in the winter when it's like, come on, when are we going to see color again? All right, I just flushed it all over my face like I like to do. You know, a little, look at that monochromatic look going. All right, I feel like, as usual, I did my best. I did my best to demonstrate, you know, this product. I'm not a guru. I need to work on my demo skills some more, but I think you get the gist. I mean, that's a flush, my friends. That's a flush. And the Hue Drops blended, I thought they blended quite nicely. I'm just going to set my face with my Charlotte Tilbury airbrush, I think she calls it, what does she call it? Airbrush Flawless Finish. Love this stuff, obviously. Yeah, I like blending those Hue Drops into a foundation. I think I'm going to do that more often. It's just I rarely wear foundation. And you know, let's talk about this. Most of those bronzing drops that I did try last year, they all said, you know, hey, why don't you just drop these into your foundation to get a little extra going on. And maybe that's the way to go, you know, just putting these bronzing drops just straight up on the face. It's not, I don't know, maybe that's not the way to go. Because to be honest, like, you know, the e.l.f. ones, I had high hopes for the e.l.f. bronzing drops, and then those were like, everything was like a May. All the bronzing drops were a May for me. So maybe I was just doing it wrong. Maybe I should have just mix them in with my foundation. All right, I think it's good enough. I am going to finish my eyes offline. I'm going to do like a little pop of color on my lids, and I'm going to do a little bit of powder on my lids. I'm going to reapply. I finally found the Lancome Lippy. If you've been watching me every day, you've been watching me struggle to find this lippy on my glam station. It just fell between a crack, I tell you. I'm organized-ish here at the glam station, but so I bought this Maybelline lippy to go in the glam go bags that I've made. So Jen L 1111, that's going out in the mail today. So is Barb Ends. She won the Shoppers Mart exclusive pencil case, and there was a Barb. I apologize again for the confusion. So many Barbs. And what else is going out? I'm going to Shoppers Mart to get D and B lattes. One won the P. Louise giveaway, and the other one won a Shoppers Mart Beauty exclusive. Yvette Beauty exclusive, seven days of beauty from Shoppers Mart. That's going out. Like 5 things are going out in the mail today. So anyway, I was just saying, in the glam go bag that I made for Jen L, because she won that giveaway, I put one of these lippies in, and I'm putting it in the glam go bag that I'm gonna announce tomorrow as the next giveaway. But I was like, oh, it just reminds me so much of the Lancome lippy. I mean, what do you think? I mean, right? Maybe not necessarily the shade, but let's go in with this. This also has that pointy applicator. This doesn't claim to be a stain, though. I'm just gonna go in with it because I feel like a victory. Whenever I'm looking for something on my glam station, then I'm like, I know I've got it here somewhere, and I can't find it, and I find it. I'm like, yes, score, touchdown. All right, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, I hope you're well. I got to finish my face offline and, you know, get on my way to the school drop-offs. Let me know, what do you see out there? And it doesn't have to be anything that's on the current market that you've just seen over time. You're like, your gimmick light goes off. You're like, no, there's no way. I want to know in the comments. Take care. I'll see you in the next video. A few days left to fun February.